Hello and welcome. I'm Tim, and this is a special landlocked edition of TimBatSea. I'm giving you inside access to something only mariners get to see. I am currently at the Mariner House in Boston. Apparently, although I'm old, I'm not old enough to know that, I'm not old enough to remember that for years it was very common that sailing ships would have what they call mariners' houses all over the both coasts of the U.S. and I would assume in the Europe too. So if you're watching this from Europe and you know about mariners' houses there, please write in the comments and let me know about that. But basically, what a mariner house is, it's like a nonprofit thing that some of the Seamen's Church or Seamen's organizations, AIDS organization, that's Seamen's AIDS organization, those places would get together and fund a house so that when ships would come in, their wives, families, loved ones could have a place that they could stay and afford, because a lot of times ships will go into places like the city of Boston, which we all know is for hundreds of years has been a very big active port, and maybe seafarers couldn't afford to stay downtown at the places, but the downtown is here because they call on these ports. So it was really important to have these, they're not for free, but a very affordable housing for mariners. And guess what? As far as I know, I think there used to be one left on the West Coast, but I think it's gone private. So I don't think it's a true mariner house. As far as I know, the Mariner House here in Boston is the last one that's available, the last one that's still working in the United States. And it's beautiful. It was founded in 1847, and it's been operating in the North End in Boston ever since. Beautiful cobbled streets where the restaurants are the finest, and it's wonderful. And I'm going to take you in today and show you what, if I didn't mention it before, you can only stay here if you're an active mariner or if you are an active duty person in the military. And so you have to show your credentials and that sort of stuff, but they let you stay here. And so I'm here with Crystalita and my daughter, and we're going to meet my friend, a pilot friend of mine. That's the maritime pilot. You may have seen him in other videos. Anyway, Captain Foley's always fun to hang out with. I don't know if I'll be able to videotape him because he's always controversial. But if we come over here, let me show you what we're looking at just outside of the window here. Oh, beautiful. Now, if I knew something about Boston, I would tell you what square this is, or plaza, or whatever it is, but I don't know enough about it. This is only my third time, I think, that I've stayed here, and it's wonderful. You can walk everywhere from here, and in our case, we're actually going to go see a show at the other side of Boston, so I think it's like a $17 Uber ride or something like that, so it's not really that big a deal. But stick around, and I will show you what you can't see elsewise. All right, thanks for watching. So we got to Boston via train, which involved us taking a Uber over to the north end of Boston. And we got here with our Uber driver. And as you can see, the north end is one of the older parts of Boston with many cobblestone streets and just one amazing restaurant after another. Seems like there's a lot of old school Italian restaurants there, but there are many other restaurants as well. But probably, in my opinion, the North End is probably the most beautiful and historic part of the city. If you've been to Boston and haven't been to the North End, you don't know what you're missing. But anyway, here is the entrance to the Mariner's house, and they've actually put a new plaque up here about 20-some years, almost 25 years ago, because the old plaque was put up in 1847 when they built the building. So you'll see two plaques there. But here, Crystalita's getting a lesson in how Boston has doors that open out versus the ones in
Brooklyn seem to open in, which I always think is odd for fire reasons. Like, they never think that would pass a fire code, but what do I know? I'm not a New Yorker. But anyway, inside, you can see that inside the house there's 2 sitting rooms flanked on either side of the entrance, and then there's a little place that you check in here. Everything's kind of nautical themed. Crystalita's getting ready. She's been here before. My daughter is actually running the camera, and this is her first time here. But as we go to check in, we find out that we are actually early and they're still cleaning the room, so we're just going to hang out for a little while. And in one of the 2 sitting rooms, you can see there's places where old mariners can play some chess, read some books. There's different nautical things all around, and it's a wonderful place. So I had an interesting surprise when I come into this other room. There's another guy waiting for his room, and look, it's my old buddy Pat. He's another tugboat guy from another company that I've known. I actually met him through this channel, which was kind of fun, and then he helped me with Paquita. He lives right next to where Paquita's hauled out, and he keeps an eye on it for me, but I had no idea that he was there. I've said in other videos that it's a very small community, and it's really fun to run into your friends in fun places like this. But anyway, one thing I really like is this place is top shelf. It's like I say, one of the most exclusive areas in Boston, and everything in here is beautiful. But they were able to make it look nice and good, but still keep it in the kind of historic look or the 1840s feel to it, very cool. I like it a lot. You can see that different mariners have donated different things to put on the walls. There's an old Liberty ship right there. And anyway, now here's the galley. When you stay here, they serve 3 meals a day in the galley, but the breakfast is included. And it's set up just like a galley on a ship. So you come in, they have coffee available on hot 24 hours a day. And when the galley's open, they have a professional cook here who has everything on the line. When you come for breakfast, they'll make, you want pancakes, they make pancakes. You want an omelet, make an omelet. They make everything for you. And it's wonderful and really inviting, and places, like I say, top shelf. Just can't talk enough about how wonderful this place is. And although it's not really up to me to give out what the prices are, it's extremely affordable. In this area, I would say that it's probably about 1/8 of the price that you would normally pay in this area. So, and look at the size of the bathroom. I think the size of the bathroom is bigger than most New York City apartments. But anyway, that's that. Here's a shot of North Square. I thought that was interesting, so just took a couple stills here. But anyway, if you're wondering why we got to Boston and why we went there, we were stopping there, and I wanted to take Crystalita. We were obviously friends with my friend Captain Foley, but we all went to the Blue Man Group, and that was a whole lot of fun. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but of course, when they came to pick people out of the crowd, they picked Crystalita and they put her on stage, and she did wonderfully, wonderful. And then when they have a thing where all kinds of confetti and paper come out into the audience. And this was a spot. It was a wonderful time, and I thank you guys so much for watching. Just a short little video, and next week I'll be back on the boat, hopefully with new content for you. So thank you so much for watching. If you get a chance, maybe you can run over, help me out by subscribing over at SV Paquita. I'll put a link in the description. Special shout out to my patrons. You guys make the show happen. Really appreciate it. You guys be safe, take care, and I'll see you on the water.